her waters have just broken. It's happening now.
You're vlogging?
Yeah.
Priorities. Your wife's
priorities.
about to give birth, but like, I got to vlog this moment.
Of course.
You
Give it
had a
reference.
bag ready to go just
just
for
in
one.
case. Let's try and tempt him to come out. If I was him, I would think that if the food is better out here, I probably want to come out, right?
How does that process go?
Well, she said, I'm making this. I'm making. They rocked up and they're like, what's this about? Did we do something wrong? I was like, no. But I was wrong.
I did something wrong.
And I'm sorry.
I messed up.
I thought I could handle this. For every minute that they're awake, you're like, I hope you don't die.
Yeah. Wow.
And so you're just up. You're just watching.
What happens? Because there's only a limited number of grandparents we can rely on.
Yeah. I thought about this as well.
Serena.
I've come up with a bit of a scalable system.
Serena, you're up.
Yeah, Serena, welcome to the chat.
Anyone want to make some of my side hustle money?
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Living the Dream. So it is a very interesting episode today because today we deep dive into a lot of detail with what pregnancy and deliverables actually look like. For those of you who are expecting, who are nervous about having a kid or having gone through the process of having a child, this episode might be very relevant to you. You'll probably see Ravs in the first light talk about a lot of detail when it comes to this entire experience that him and Sanjo went through. We get to basically ask him a whole bunch of questions that as two guys we're very curious about. And if you're interested, then keep watching.
Living the dream, boys. Living the dream.
It's good to see your faces.
It's been a hot minute.
I haven't seen you guys in about a week.
It's a week.
It feels longer
You
than
know
that.
what? I actually have to say I'm really impressed and proud of you because despite, and we'll go through all of the updates, but despite having a kid, you're still managing to make it into an
Oh yeah, by the way, guys, he's got a kid now.
Yeah, 1 week old.
Daddy.
Let's
I'm gonna do that a lot, just FYI. We'll go into that in a bit. Deeps will go into your catch up in a bit.
Yes.
I'm just gonna segue slightly by introducing a game now that we reveal the answers for at the end of the segment.
go. Oh, nice.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's called Human Bingo. Okay. Inspired by another pod I saw on the way here. The way this game works is you both have to think of one thing each for the opposite person. So Ravs, you got to think of one thing for Deeps, one thing for me. Deeps, one thing for Ravs and myself. And it is called Human Bingo because it is a game that you have to guess something that the other person is going to likely say or do by the end of this segment. And if they end up saying it or doing it by the end of the segment, you just say bingo towards the end and we reveal what it was. Okay. I've already got the two things that I have a prediction that you guys are going to say or do based on what I know of you guys. So I'll keep it at that. Just remember what those things are by the end of the episode. We'll reveal it. Deal?
Yep.
Deal?
So you're going to ask us a question, I assume?
No. It's just you just
two
gotta,
words.
No, it's just human bingo. It's just you just have to predict what do you think Ravs or myself, Deeps, in this case for you, is likely to say or do as just human gestures, mannerisms within this segment.
So there's going to be a segment at the end.
Yeah, where we just reveal, did we do it? So, for instance, let me give you an
I have
example.
no idea what you're saying.
No. Let me give you an example. So, if Frank was here right now,
Yep.
and we were having a standard conversation for 45 minutes,
Yep.
I can guarantee you Frank's about to do the spready, which
Oh,
means
yeah,
he's
that power
gonna
pose.
the power pose with his hands.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So you know that's a Frank thing. So you've got 45 minutes to figure out what the other two people in this conversation would do. So Deeps,
Okay.
you've got to think about what Ravs is most likely to say or do. You should know him the most as his brother. Ravs, you've got to think about Deeps and myself. So something that you
Okay.
reckon. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll can it. So
Yeah, all right.
we'll discuss it ever again.
Yeah, okay.
This is too early in the morning for
This is
these.
way too early to play. Human Bingo.
I'm excited. Let's just roll with it, see how we
Okay,
go.
all right, done.
All right,
Cool.
hectics. Catch up segment.
Let's
Who
start
wants-
with you guys first.
All right,
'cause
sounds
obviously
good.
a lot's
You
happened
start first,
last week.
Karthik.
Car shopping. So yeah, car
Oh,
shopping.
yeah, did you know about this?
You mentioned it like a week and a half
Yeah,
ago.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
happening.
So yeah, it is happening. I went to my first ever car display thing.
Dealership.
and- Dealership, that's the one. And what my TikTok algorithm currently on the For You page is how to sell. I don't know why.
How to sell.
Yeah, how to sell. And you know is it the Grant Cardone guy?
Yep.
And he's like, sell me this bottle of water.
Okay.
Sell me this water.
10x, baby.
Yeah. Anyways. And I'm expecting when I get into the car showroom that people are on. Like they're just going to come up and be like, oh, hey, so what brings you here today? It's like, you know when you go to YD or Connor or any clothing store, you just want to be left alone in peace. But then someone's like, oh, so what are you shopping for today? So what's the occasion? What brings you here? And they start, and you're just like, leave me the F alone.
Well, I think they have left everyone alone because I don't think they're
they exist anymore, from my understanding.
Yeah, I suppose. But anywho, I get into the car salesman show thingy, and I'm thinking someone's going to come up to me and be like, oh, okay, yeah, this, that. No one, not one single person. And it's a Saturday, by the way. So it's like, should
Was
be
it busy?
Well, yeah, it was. But no one. And so then I had a car that I wanted to drive, and it was a big step up from the Holden Cruise that I've been driving for the last 10 years. And the car's awesome. Like, it's a hybrid. It's really sick. I love it. And when I did the test drive and finished it, I'm expecting the guy to give me the talk. Like, so please, like, sit down and, the full, like, I want him to make me feel uncomfortable borderline.
Okay, right. That's what you expect.
I'm expecting that. Got nothing. I was a bit disappointed because I wanted the full salesy experience. Like, you should buy this, you should upgrade, you should get the bells and whistles, you should do this. And if you act now, I can add in this and I can do that. I don't know if you guys are relating to any of this conversation.
It's a very 80s idea that car salesmen's...
It's very US as well.
Yeah. Yeah, very American as well.
Nah.
They used to do it here, but I don't think they do it anymore because I think they've realized the evolution of sales and the type of, like, again, like, you want to be left the fuck alone. So I think they've had to adapt over time.
So what's the verdict? So you went for the car ride.
Went for the car. I know I have to get a car ride, but I'm not being impulsive by just going in the first car that I've done a test drive. So I've given myself 2 more car options that I need to suss out, and then I'll make a choice from that 3.
And costings wise, are they all the same sort of price?
Yeah, so roughly looking around about like 50 to 60K, anywhere between sort of that. But I just want a hybrid. I know I want a hybrid because of the kilometers and the range.
Okay.
But this is a big lineup for a lot of EVs as well, which I don't know. Like, I know you have an EV, and
I think with the work you do, you cannot get an EV.
yeah, so
Because you will get caught out.
yeah, I reckon I'm just not like.
I don't even do what you do, and I got caught out. So don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, and divine timing because my window just went all the way down and refuses to go back up. So
Okay.
yeah, so now my
I
driver,
do not know how that car is still running.
Yeah,
I
I
believe
called-
about 5 years ago, I told you this car is going to die in the next 3 months. It's still going.
I'm proud of it.
You've lost the spoiler. You've lost like parts of the wheel. You've lost parts of the front.
Bro, it's bad. It's all
If anyone listening wants to buy a really good, reliable car, you should definitely hit us up.
yeah. So that's my like highlights for the weekend car shopping, which is exciting.
How quickly do you want to move on that?
Well, finances are good to go. So the car's about to die. So basically any second now. Yeah,
Any
so once
second
I
now.
do, I reckon the 2 once I do the 2 more tests, then I'll pull the trigger.
And are you going to these car rides and dealerships by yourself, or are you going with your partner?
No, just by myself. Well, the first one I went with my partner, but now I'm going like by my. Well, it depends if we're available. We'll go together. So
Yeah, I think you should go with someone.
just to make sure I'm in check.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
think like it's good just to get the sanity check from someone else.
Yeah, I suppose when we both sit in my current Holden Cruise, it's a no-brainer. The car has to go.
Of course.
So then it's just an excitement.
But now you're not comparing it to the Holden Cruise. You're comparing it to the other 2 new cars.
That's true.
So it's going to get confusing.
That's true. So
That is very exciting.
I know. I'm about to spend a fair bit of money on a car.
Nice.
Which is exciting.
That time.
I know.
That time.
Very overdue. Deeps, over to you.
I just got back from a Bucks. I got back Monday afternoon. Safe to say, I am done with Bucks. I don't think I will have a Bucks. The idea of a Bucks just makes me feel so sick. And yeah, I've gone past that point. I just can't do it anymore. I cannot do it anymore. It was 4 nights. By second night, I was looking at flights to catch the following day because I was like, I am done.
Yeah.
I cannot keep doing this. Wow.
Was it because like you guys were partying heaps and things like that?
Well, yeah, we were out every day.
So it was intense.
It
from
was
the get-go.
intense, but
Yeah.
I'm at that point now where I can have one big night and then I will be like, okay, I'm good. Like, I don't think I can do any more. But then you're with a bunch of like 15 to 20 guys that are just constantly going. There were times where I would wake up to go to the bathroom at say 4 o'clock in the morning. People are still out partying and drinking. Wow. Because we were in this massive shared
How
sort
many
of
people were at this bar?
18 all up.
Wow, that's a big group of dudes.
Yeah,
I
18.
don't even know 18 people.
Yeah.
And
That's
nor do
full
I.
right here. It was
Nor do
yeah,
I.
that's-
So yeah, overall, it was. I'm glad the Buck enjoyed himself. I definitely had moments where I enjoyed myself too, and but going for that long, I cannot do. I've realized I'm too old for it.
Did you
Way
have
too
your own
old.
room and you like that was all?
Room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a bed.
Are you?
to myself.
Oh dear.
But then I was
Rubs
sharing.
is out.
I was
Automatically
sharing with like 3 to 4 other guys.
Yeah, right.
So
Fun times.
That sounds like fun. I have a lot of FOMO.
What's interesting is that like both of you guys are very different in that front. Because we went to Bali for your unofficial parks.
We went to Bali just for the fact that we wanted to go to Bali.
That's
Yeah.
also true.
Because we always wanted to do one travel together.
That's true.
And then we did the Bucks, which was we went out to, was it Finn's nightclub
Finn's
or
nightclub,
beach
which,
club or
by
whatever?
the way, you
Yeah.
clocked out at 9 p.m.
Mind you, I went there to eat. I ate. I had Coke Zero. You guys drank, and then I went home.
Yeah.
I had a chocolate bar, Kit Kat, and then I went to sleep.
yeah,
And then I don't know when you guys came back.
Me and this guy
so
got
that was the
blasted.
bus.
That was
yeah,
fun.
we got.
That
That
was
was the one day we got plastered.
That was the one night. Yeah. Okay.
Very, very different.
But
Wow,
I'm back
okay.
now. I'm probably going to spend the rest of the week just recovering from a lack of sleep.
Just water.
Just water, yeah, it's fine, and then get back into the swing of things next week. Awesome. But that was my week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, boxes.
Well, sleepless nights. I can relate
Oh
to that.
yeah, you have been.
So
Yes, so
exciting.
today, technically, this episode will come out on Friday, so in a couple of days. Today's Wednesday, and as of this morning, yes, he's 1 week.
Congratulations.
We made it. We kept a human alive for 1 week. Holy shit!
Can we go into the very beginning? So from when you woke up in the morning.
So okay, Monday last week.
Delivery day.
Yeah, no. So Monday last week, I've finished up at the office and walking back home. And as I'm saying bye to people, I said, look, I'm probably not going to see you on Wednesday because I had come up with this date. The date was the 17th of Feb. And I said, okay, I put it in the calendar like 2 months ago. And I forgot about it until obviously you're a week away from it. And I said, okay, well, I think that the little one's coming on the 17th. And then I started trying to manifest him to come on the Sunday so it was more convenient. Clearly, that wasn't going to work because he's like, you told me come on 17th, so I'm coming on the 17th. Anyways, so we leave. It's the 16th, being the Monday, go home. And I was like, cool, how you feeling? To Sanjo. And Sanjo's like, look, I'm feeling good. Like, it's just a patience game. And at this point, you know, plenty of people, especially on their first child, they'll go, you know, over the due date. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, it is what it is. And the week prior, when we went and saw the OB, he was like, we have to book in like weekly, sessions with him. And the next session was going to be on the Wednesday. And he had said the week prior, he goes, I don't think we're going to need that meeting. And I was like, okay, so he expects that it's coming before.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now we're like, okay, well, it's Monday night and she's not feeling anything. And so I said, okay, well, let's try and tempt him to come out. And she said,
How does that process go?
well, she said, I'm making all this shit up, right? So I'm going, if I was him, I would think that if the food is better out here, I probably want to come out, right? So I said to Sanjo, why don't we go and get Bondi pizza? I get a pizza, she gets pizza, and then we'll get wedges. Because I feel like a bit of wedges, but I reckon that's going to get him around. So anyways, I don't know if it worked or not, but we went to sleep that night, full happy days. At 2:35,
This is now what day? Sorry.
Tuesday morning, 2:35
Okay,
a.m.
correct.
Right, so the
Yep.
night before we went to sleep,
Gotcha.
and I'd said to Sanjo, I was like, "Hey, we should probably head to bed early." And she goes, "Why?" And I was like, "Well, just in case." So we started a show, All Her Fault, and it was so good to watch, but we stopped early. And I said, "Look, let's not keep watching. Let's just go to sleep." And she said, "All right, well, yeah, you're right. If it happens tomorrow, we're going to be so glad we had good food and a good sleep." Well, at 2:35, all I know is I woke up to Ravs? And I said, yes. She goes, my water's broke. And I've said, yep, all right, I'm out of bed.
Hang on. Because
So you weren't sleeping?
yeah, so you're the type of person that I know in night when you're asleep, don't
Correct.
talk to you.
Yep.
So the fact that she's like Ravs, and you're like, yes, you're alert and ready to go.
This is like, it is on.
Oh, so you were already on edge.
It was on.
It was on.
Like I went straight into game mode. I made a video, I'll show you guys after, but I made a video of just like that morning and I'm like, her waters have just broken. It's happening now.
You're vlogging.
Yeah.
Priorities. Your wife's
priorities.
about to give birth,
Of course.
but like I gotta vlog this moment.
Of course. Because I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
look, I want to know that moment. I want to
That's
capture
true.
everything.
I love that.
So 2:35, she's gone, my water's broken. I asked her, you sure? She goes, 100%. I said, all right, well, it's game on. So I was like, got out of bed. Okay, fantastic. Now we make our way to the hospital.
Can I ask, was there a bit of panic in that time? Was there like
There
what was
wasn't
the-
panic.
What was the emotion at the time?
It wasn't panic, but it was like, now you got a lock-in chat.
Yeah, okay.
Like
It's
all
go
this
time.
time, maybe, who knows? Now it's like, game day's here. Like this is it.
This is what you prepared for.
This is what we prepared for. So
Yeah.
that's all the preparation, right? So thankfully, 2 days before that, I packed my bags for the hospital as well, which is good. She had been packed for about 8 weeks. So gives
So
you a
you
bit of
had a bag
reference.
ready to go just
Just
for
in
one-
case. Because
just
at
in
that
case.
point, like it can happen at any
At
point.
any
Can
You know
I
what
ask, what was in your bag?
Oh, okay. So we took like a big suitcase. My bag was about that big. And I had like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 t-shirts and
Because what
a
was
couple of shorts.
what
and-
was your expectation of how long you would stay there?
So we delivered at the Mater Hospital. And so that means 4 nights, 5 days that you
Okay.
stay there.
Yeah.
Initially, when I heard that, I was like, why do I need to stay for that long? I can see why you stay for that long because you have no idea how to keep this human alive. And obviously, over those 4 or 5 days, you get taught so much.
Yeah.
But that's not the case in public hospitals, right?
It's 2 nights in public.
So
from
they
what
do
I know.
that all condensed in 2 nights.
Well, whatever
essentially.
you can get, yes.
Yeah, wow.
Yep. Which is obviously the pros and cons. But
Yeah.
you get private health insurance. But even with private health insurance, you got to prep ahead. So what happens is people think, oh, well, I'll just get it like 2 months before I deliver. Well, you need to have the cover for at least 1 year.
1 year, yeah.
And the thing is, if you try and you get pregnant, like, well, you got 9 months. So you could find out you're pregnant and not have private health insurance. And then you're screwed.
So
Yeah.
just get it in advance for anyone listening.
Like we got it 3 months before we even got married. Because I was like, I'm not
Okay.
taking chances.
yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
oh, because like you figure it out. You just prep.
Yeah, you just think ahead.
So, anyways, so we head over to the hospital and they do the checks. Now, the thing is, when your waters break, you have to go in, but it doesn't necessarily mean like you have to stay. So what happens is your waters can break, but you're not getting contractions. Like you're gonna get like 1 every 3 minutes or 2 minutes, and then it's like, okay, well now you got to deliver. I'll push. So at the time, she wasn't really getting that many contractions. So it was like, okay, well let's just keep you here for like a couple of hours, casually at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
As you do.
And then we'll assess. And they said, well, look, based on everything we can see, it's not escalating. So what we can do is we can have you come back in the afternoon, go home, relax, and then that way, like you're going to most likely get to the point of, the point that you need to dilate to then be able to push. But you do that at home because it's more relaxing. So we're like, yeah, cool, that sounds good. Anyway, so then we come back home, and I was
What's
like,
the drive time?
oh, it's like 15 minutes from where we live. So
He really wants all the details.
Bro, I
He
want
didn't
I want to
realise.
be there.
So 15. Well, I got the vlog, so I'll give you the vlog. So 15 minutes, get home, and then I said to Sanjo, "Look, this is really good. I'm not going to work today. What we're going to do is we're going to watch our show. We're going to relax. You'll get the contractions in the background. You'll be distracted. I'll make you nice food. We'll be chill." She goes, "Perfect." Anyway, so I go out. I get the butter out. I've got the pan on the thing, and I'm like, now I'm going to make
Husband
eggs.
of the year, bro.
Sanjo goes into the bathroom. All I hear in the next 5 minutes, rubs. All right, cool. What's going on? She goes, so without being TLDR,
Yeah, I don't
TMI,
need-
and
don't
all
need all
that.
that. Don't need all
Basically, the baby has now shat inside.
Oh.
Okay. And
Okay.
so it's called meconium, I think it's called what it's called. Now you have to go to the hospital.
Okay.
Because effectively now it's a point where if he starts ingesting it or something, then it's like
It's bad.
It's a high risk.
Yeah.
Now you have to go.
Okay.
So I've gone, okay, well, there goes my egg situation. Now, in my head, thank God that I can think on my feet. I've gone, I know that Sanjo now is going to enter a whole different realm, okay? Forget about my food, but she's got to have something quick. And we all know what we love at home. A little bit of Milo cereal protein. Let's
my
go.
God,
So I didn't know what
bro.
to take. Like, how do you take it? So I put it in a protein shaker bottle, put some milk in there, shake it up.
Sure.
So she's smashing that down in the car.
Okay.
Okay. While she's getting the contractions now.
She's like, I'm gearing up for a big one, boy.
Now I'm driving
man.
and now we're calculating. She's like, I've got another one happening. And it's like, now I'm just looking at the time to
And
go,
she's
how
in
quick?
physical discomfort, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Now you're feeling it.
Yeah, you're feeling it.
And
Is it like a? I mean, I'm never gonna have contractions in my life, but is it like a stomach ache?
bro,
What is it? What is it like? Explain it.
look,
Like, what do you
I
think
don't
it is?
know, but all I know is that Sanjo's threshold for pain is really high. And she was struggling. So I was like, bro, this must be the worst pain. It's like probably getting hit in balls like every 5 minutes. But like full intensity.
Oh god.
Anyways, so we get to the hospital and then get her set up, and they're like, cool, all right, well now you may as well get your bags because now you're staying. So, all right, cool. So now we're probably talking about sort of 5 o'clock ish.
Did you ask her what the amenities are? Like,
Oh yeah, I was like, I think it's got a swimming pool or a gym or something. Just keep myself occupied. So, anyways, I got there. At this point, she's still like she's contracting and whatnot. She's like proper in labor, but in between, it's okay. Like you can talk because the contractions weren't like happening all the time. So, anyways, at this point, you're sort of like playing a waiting game because what happens is normally you would go to the hospital if you're contracting, every 4 or 5 minutes. Now you know there's a end goal. Whereas she was still contracting like once every like maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes. But because of the meconium situation happening, we have to be there. So now within the fact that the waters are broken, meconium's happening, we need to deliver within 24 hours. Like it's going to
has
happen.
to happen.
Either it comes out from your vag or it comes out
From C-section.
from C-section,
Yeah, okay.
right? So it's happening. So now we know we're going to have a kid within the next 24 hours.
Wow.
And what I
What time
experienced
is it by this point?
about 5, 6 o'clock.
Okay, so you would have woken up soon anyways.
Now we're just, it's game mode.
it's game,
You are not thinking about food. You're not thinking about eating. All you're thinking about is how do I best support Sanjo through this? Because she's going to go through levels above what a guy will go through. But as a guy, you also still play a very important role.
Absolutely.
Some people will just go, F that, I'm going to do what I need to do, and she's on her own. Think about this. Like, she's going through this for the first time by herself. She needs her guy. Like, she needs her person there. So that's all I was doing. I was like, I am here, and I'll walk you through every point of it, and just mindset was a big thing. So if you're going through contractions, usually last about a minute. And so I told her this afterwards, but I was timing it, and I would get to about 35 seconds, and I'd tell her, like, we only have 10 seconds left. But really, we had like 25. And that mentally tricked her to going, okay, I'm almost there. And by the time you get to the end, you're like, I've only got like 10 seconds left anyway.
Yeah, that's good.
And that was hard because you obviously don't want to see your person go through like pain.
Yeah.
And you're like, I cannot actually do anything apart from just help support you.
Was she holding your hand?
Oh, bro, like it's just,
Could you feel her squeeze your hand and be
yeah,
like...
but then there's also things like you can get combs.
Oh, okay.
So like a wooden comb and yeah, like a brush for your hair, but it's like a wooden one and they inflict pain on themselves like that. So the nervous system goes, there's pain here. I need to focus here rather than the contractions.
Wow.
A lot of cool shit. And then there's like a TENS machine, which is like this electromagnetic sort of thing that connects to them and then it just buzzes, like zaps them. And that sends like the...
Bro,
anyways.
sounds like torture, bro. Straight out.
Well, you just got to survive, right?
Yeah, of course.
So anyways, there were obviously a bunch of things that could go right, could go wrong. Everything happened. And then eventually we got to the point where it came to push and 11:45, we saw the little one come out. And I'm telling you, like, there is no other feeling like that. Like everything in that moment was worth it. And obviously, Sanjo was still in pain and I think some people say like, as soon as you see your child, you forget what the pain was. She goes, I did not forget.
Yeah.
Mind you, she also made notes. So she's like, I did not forget.
She made...
But like just seeing the baby there, you're going, for 9 months, I've been talking to your belly and having this little guy just kicking. Now you're here. And it was the best experience ever. I know that like I told you guys, I'm like, I'm not looking down.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
You did.
Bro, in that moment, you do not care. And so when it came time to push and whatnot, like it was pretty intense. Like I've got her leg, one leg on my shoulder, and I'm like basically like trying to tackle her. Wow. And there's another lady on the other side doing the same thing with her other leg. So yeah, you're gonna see everything. There was a lot of blood. It was crazy.
Okay.
And then you see the baby pop up and you look and you're going, this is the best moment of my entire life.
Wow.
And so yeah, obviously there was tears and whatever,
of course,
but it's, bruh, I cannot wait for you guys to have kids.
I like how that's where this is going afterwards.
It is the best thing ever. I'm a week in. The sleep was shit. I have been humbled. I walked into it going, psh, sleep. Like everyone complains about this. How hard is it? You don't realize because you're trying to keep your own kid alive. So it means that technically, yes, they may only wake up every 2 to 3 hours. But for every minute that they're awake, you're like, I hope you don't die.
Yeah. Wow.
And so you're just up. You're just watching. And so what we did was we took turns. So I was up for like 4 hours in the night and then Sanjo would be up for 4 hours. And all you're doing is you're looking at the baby breathe. And thing is, it gets boring. Like you're sleepy and like, how do you not fall asleep? So all you're doing is trying not to fall asleep.
So what were you doing?
Like you just take
Oh,
returns.
bro, I went onto my laptop. I tried to do emails, and then I realized I was falling asleep every time like I was doing something. It's like micro sleeps that you would go through.
Yeah.
And it was bad. Like you would do anything. I was like listening to blasting music. I was doing anything possible. But yeah, it's intense. And so for the last 2 nights, we've had my mum stay over.
Okay.
The next night, and then the nights after that, we've got Sanjo's mum staying over. So they've come into the picture. I know mum's probably listening, and I apologize because I basically said to them, I was like, look, guys, we got this. You guys just keep your distance. And then literally 2 nights that we spent at home, I called up both mums and I said, I need you guys here at 9:30 in the morning. I have a strategy meeting with you guys. They rocked up and they're like, what's this about? Did we do something wrong? I was like, no. But I was wrong.
I did something wrong.
And I'm sorry.
I messed up.
I thought I could handle this. And they're like, trying not to say I told you so. Because they're like, this isn't SP. This isn't a business.
Yeah, there's very different, I would imagine.
The nurse explained it the best. She's like, what do you do for work? And I told her what I do for work. She goes, okay, cool. How long you been doing it for? I told her. And she goes, okay, cool. Now think about you starting this business, starting completely fresh in an industry you've never worked in, and you're on day one. How well do you think you'll do? And I was like, well, I'll do really shit. She goes, that's exactly where you're at. I said, all right. Yeah,
Getting
cool.
humbled.
So within a week, you're not going to figure it out.
So now that mum's done 2 nights,
Yep.
how is she feeling having to do night shifts?
So
Wait,
yeah.
so she's up at night.
She's them now.
Oh my gosh.
Difference is though, like she obviously now we've got a bit more confidence. Like we've got like a monitor, we've got like the cameras and all of that. So we still like Sanjo checks on her phone in our room, but she'll only check like every so often. And so mum can sleep knowing that we've got a couple of people in the house, like if something goes wrong. But she gets up every 3 hours or every 2 hours now, feed, change, go to sleep. We said that 2 nights in a row, probably going to be hard. 3 is impossible. I think today we can see that she's feeling it. So obviously she's done with the 2 days, but what we're going to do is like pretty much like 1 mum on, 1 mum off. So like there'll never be 2 days in a row that they have to do. And then I think we'll have to do 1 or 2 nights in the week, which is very bearable. And if you spoke to me 2 days ago, I would have been like, bro, I'm dying. But today everyone's like, I've got a glow and I've got a bit of, energy.
Yeah,
and
bro.
yeah, it's only because I've got 2 days worth of sleep.
It's just interesting though, right? How do, like what you were saying before, which was, you needed to be there like psychologically, emotionally for Sanjo while she was giving birth. Imagine what like single mothers have to go through
Right, it's
on
exactly
their
what I
own.
thought.
It's insane.
And then think about the level of support you and Sanjo now have. A lot of people don't even have that.
Bro, you're in a very like special situation,
Yep,
right?
agreed.
Like, yeah.
And I know you're extremely grateful for it, but it makes me wonder how people in those situations go through it.
And especially think of like, let's just keep it basic, like private versus public, right? Like I know that you guys went through private, and even that has its pros and cons, like you mentioned. But I'd imagine that most people wouldn't have access to say that, that privilege, I suppose. And then the 2 days as opposed to the 4 days that you would stay. Did you think in the 4 days you learned a lot from the crash course that they put you through?
Oh, yeah. Like, there's so much that you just don't know. And just having things that are like available to you, having nurses, midwives all available 24 hours of the day, like you're new to this and you're trying to keep a human alive. Like when it's in the stomach, like it's just a byproduct. And here now you've got like one that's living and breathing in front of you. It is different. And you're like, I will do anything possible to keep this person alive. So having the support there is just a mental game as well. And they also offered this nursery thing, which is like they take care of the child for like half the night.
Oh.
And so they are like the nurses, they take care of like a few of them at the time. And then they only call us when we have to feed them. So that way both of us can sleep at the same time. So yeah, we got like 3 hours of sleep. Like great. But I think at one point, I think I'd mentioned it to you, which was like 3 days, it was 10 hours of sleep. And so you're not supposed to operate as a human at that point. But like, would I change anything? No, because that's exactly how it was supposed to play out. And
is there something that you wish that you learnt? So I know not changing anything, but something that you wish you knew a bit more about before you had this
we
experience?
had a full birth plan and that went out the window like within the first 5 minutes. Because
What do you mean like a birth plan?
So you have a birth plan around, okay, if I want to go unmedicated or do I want epidural? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? How do I want that process to look like? And you pass that on to your midwives and your doctors. The thing is that went out the window as soon as we found out the meconium situation.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, okay, well now you just got to survive. So can you ever be prepared? No. And mind you, we were really prepared. You know me, like we prepare a lot for a lot of shit. There is nothing that prepares you for this. And now a week in, you're sort of just making it up. And I realize now that every parent, as they're going through and they might have a kid that's 5 years old or 20 years old, they are going through this for the first time. And you just develop this like empathy towards going, holy shit, you have no idea what you're doing. And you're just making it up just like I am. And I should just maybe just cut you some slack because you have no idea. And I've been giving you such a hard time. Like, you should have known this. How the F am I supposed to know? I've never raised a kid before. How am I supposed to know?
Yeah.
So, it's just gives me a lot of perspective.
And is it true that like holding a baby for the first time, there's like a sense of nervousness, like you're so fresh and fragile? Like, was there that when you held your son for the first time?
I don't know if it's like, I've never held a baby that's like,
So, like, young.
literally like an hour old. I've never done that.
Yeah.
But you have to. Like, you know, in the beginning, obviously you go skin to skin. So, the doctor's like stitching up and doing whatever else they're doing. And yeah, the baby's just there on Sanjo's chest. And after that, they get me to like put the first nappy on. And then I have to go skin to skin. And I was like on the recliner and I basically had him resting on me. And now everything's like dying off. Like, okay, like it's happened. Yeah.
Adrenaline's sort of calming down. Yeah.
And all the feelings like of, excitement and all that is just calming down. And then I fell asleep and he fell asleep on me for like an hour. And so she's now getting the shower with the midwife, this, that. Like,
Did you wake up going, oh my God?
No, because you're holding on, he's loving it. And you're just like, this is life.
Yeah,
like,
wow.
This is
quite
peak.
Quite literally, it is life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So you guys need to have kids.
I like how that's the takeaway.
That's my summary. Like,
Yeah.
everyone that wants to have kids as soon as possible. And at the same time, do it when your parents are young. Because if your parents are older, you will not get the support you need. Plus for them, like, yes, mum's going, okay, like I've had to spend time during the night. You see her this morning. She's like, I'm getting FOMO because now I have to go home and I'm going to miss him. And as a byproduct, because she's stayed over the last 2 days, she's been able to have dinner with us, breakfast with us. And the thing is, if you think about it, when do you have that with your parents again after you leave home?
It's
never
true.
again.
You never do.
So now both mums are like, you do not need a night nanny, because I was thinking about the night nanny. I already contacted a few and whatnot. I was like, no, I'm going to systemize this. It is happening.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, because one, I don't trust anyone. Fair enough, whatever. But the other part was, they're like, this is an amazing excuse to have greater purpose in life, to spend time with you guys that we never could. And you, like me and Sanjo are very self-sufficient. Like, if we have to figure something out, we'll figure it out together. So we don't really rely on people. But now, for the first time, we're relying on them. They're going, we are wanted as that person. This is a win-win. So while I think I've got the best end of it, which is, hey, we get to sleep at night, they're going, we get the best end of it, because now we get to raise our grandson and get to spend time with you guys, which we would never have
thought
to
of it
spend
that
again.
way. That's actually really interesting because, when was the last time you all sort of had that experience with the family situation and whatnot?
And every year after that, you spend less and less time with your parents.
Yeah.
So this has been an amazing excuse to go, hey, like, come back and like, let's spend time together. And you guys know, I like my personal space. I realized after a day of spending it with the little one, life will never be the same again. But that's the sacrifice you have for the upside, which is huge. So I was like, you know what? If people want to stay over when we get the new house as well, you want to stay over multiple days, come stay over.
That's a change.
Relax.
That's
a very big change.
I think Sanjo got more emotional hearing that from me.
What made you say that though? Like, what made you go?
Because I realized that if I was my kid, if I was Ari right now, I would love nothing more than to have all of my family that love me with me.
Because it's not about you anymore.
It's not about me.
Yeah. But actually, if you think about it, as when you were a kid, say 4 or 5, go back to, for the both of you boys, right? When you guys had a full house of people, surely that for you guys would have been a fun experience.
Yeah,
I
it was the
trust.
best.
Yeah.
It probably would be the same thing.
100%. So now, obviously, we're in a position where the mums can give up some time. I know that the dads are wanting to be involved, and it's like, cool. Like, obviously, it's the
The
first
dads
child.
do they want to do
Yeah,
something?
mind you, they're not doing the night shift because I don't think they know what to do.
I wanna ask sort of more to Deeps now, because like when you obviously went and visited Rob's the day of, the next day?
The next day.
The next day.
Yeah.
You saw basically
it was a
his kid.
surreal moment. It was a surreal
Like to see
moment.
your brother have
Yeah,
a
it was
child.
surreal. It was surreal. I was like, what is going on? I was like,
And you
genuinely,
weren't
what's
even in
going
it.
on?
You're like, you're just looking at
I
it
was
from
like
the
this. I was
outside.
like, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Kudos to Sanjo. She's, yeah, I mean, kudos to all mothers out there that have to go
Bruh.
through this.
It's insane.
That's not
insane.
normal.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, here
right?
we go.
We talk about Dragon Ball Z.
Here we go.
I'm telling you, that is the closest I've ever seen
Someone turned
someone
Super
go
Saiyan.
through what Goku went through on Planet Namek against Frieza. Anyone that actually knows what I'm talking about, they're going, oh yeah, I know that.
Ons.
That I saw it turn into Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Okay.
Wow.
And so I know that you've expressed to us before that you want more than just one kid.
Yep.
After having this experience, obviously it's so fresh, but from Sandra's perspective, like even the slight conversation, does that does she deter? She's like, no, don't.
Well,
talk
I
to me?
brought up the joke like literally 5 minutes after it
Of
happened.
course you did.
Our doctor knows like how I am. And so he was doing his business of like stitching shit and whatever. And so I said to her, I was like, oh, well, great. Like we've only have to do this 2 more times. I'm keen to come back. And then he looks up at me going, what the F are you saying?
He's like, not the time, man.
Thankfully, Sanjo knows how I am as well. And she's like, look, let's not talk about it right now. That was a very nice way of saying shut the F up.
Yeah.
But I was just trying my luck.
Okay.
No, we'll be back. We'll do it again.
Okay.
Be fun.
Interesting.
Well, you know what's interesting now that I'm thinking about it in real time is I think when you decide to have your second, I'll most likely either be on my first at that point or getting there.
Let's go.
But what happens, because there's only a limited number of grandparents we can rely on.
Yeah. I thought about this as well. I've
Serena.
come up with a bit of a scalable system.
Serena, you're up.
Yeah, Serena, welcome to the chat.
Anyone want to make some of my side hustle money?
What's interesting, you know what this is giving? It's like, you know when someone goes through the HSC and then you're like, hey, the syllabus is the same. It's nothing changed. Here's the notes. This is what this is reminding me
Oh,
of.
yeah.
You've just basically sat the HSC.
Yep.
And you're like, hey, the syllabus won't change. But it probably will.
It will.
It
It'll
will.
change.
It definitely will. But here are my notes.
Yeah.
But you
The
throw them out
core
the
of it
window.
won't change, but yeah, like it's going to be hard regardless. But life is hard. And I think that was the biggest thing is like, if you want something that's worthwhile getting, of course it's going to be hard. Like, do you think having a kid was going to be easy? Do you think like keeping a kid alive is going to be easy? No. If it was easy, like it wouldn't mean as much. Now you're just like, bruh, this is everything. So today's my first day back in the office, 1 week. And yeah, like it felt weird leaving.
How do you feel being back in the office today?
Obviously, like this is my calling. Like this is where I can bring more value.
Yep.
Changing nappies at 3 a.m. probably doesn't bring much value to Ari, and it doesn't,
Ari's just like, get this guy off me.
You'd be
man.
like, don't touch
It's
me.
like
Don't
this
just-
guy's-
don't touch
I'm not coming for you for this.
Yeah.
So I just need to now focus on what I can bring the most value with. But in saying that, like I'm still very active with the little one. So if Sanjo needs to like go for a shower, or whatever, like I'll feed him. Good thing is that 1 week, and because I was on the tools, like I was doing everything, it meant that I know
You're
how to do
comfortable.
it. So if I today was left with Ari at home by myself, I'd be sweet.
Wow, that's a big call.
Very confident. I know how to feed him. I know how to prepare everything. I know how to put him to sleep. I know the call outs that he has. Like it's like I've got it.
You basically make up the 99th percentile when it comes to men now in this space.
Exactly.
Well, I was asking both grandparents or my parents and Sanjo's parents, like, what was that experience like? And they both said, yeah, like our partners were not there or they were there for very little. Wow. And I was just like, man, kudos to you guys because that would have been scary not having your person there. And so for us, like, I know how we are. Like mentally, we want to be there to support our partner. If it was to go down that path, you're already an active parent.
The other question I have for you is now that you have technically someone you're responsible for in all ways, how does that change your way of viewing work?
I think for a lot of people, like they would say, oh, now I've got a greater sense of purpose and responsibility. The truth is, the moment I found out we were pregnant, it was on. Like I knew that we were going to get pregnant at some point or was going to have a kid. So I'm always preparing for that anyway. So for me, was I working harder before? Am I going to work harder now? Like I was already working hard. So I don't think it really changes much for me. I'm trying to build out like this empire. So like business as usual, but I have to focus on what I can bring most value to.
Yep, makes sense.
That's
Makes
fair.
sense.
Do you currently have like FOMO of not being at home at the moment? Is that the case as well?
I definitely have it.
Yeah.
But I think it's only going to get harder because right now he's not very reliant. He's not very responsive. He just eats, shits, and sleeps, right? But give it 2 or 3 months, and when he's starting to interact, at 6 weeks they start smiling. Bro, if he smiles at my face, like I'm not leaving, like I'm not coming to work.
Yeah, game over. Yeah,
Doesn't he just give you dirties all day?
Yeah, at the moment he's having beef with me. So
I saw the video that you said. That was hilarious.
It's the funniest shit.
How
I
is he
don't
with
know how.
Sanjo relative to you?
A lot nicer. A lot nicer. I don't know what it is. Like, but also in saying that, he is the most excited when he hears my voice. So you'll see him start kicking and this and that.
Interesting.
And I think it's because like obviously when Sanjo was pregnant, me and Sanjo, we talk a lot.
Yeah.
And so we would have like morning sessions where we'd talk for like half an hour, 45 minutes just about life. And then at the evenings before going to bed, we're talking about an hour. So he's already familiar with my voice, which is probably like my biggest advice for anyone going down that path is talk. You need to be present because he's going to come out. And let's say, for instance, you have like she has a C-section or something goes wrong. He's going to have to go from being in the womb to now into this world and has no one he can rely on. He hears that familiar voice. He's like, oh, like at least I know who this voice is. If it's not my mom, it's this guy. And so
This guy.
yeah, like I don't know if they know if it's their dad or whatever, but it's like I'm familiar with this voice.
I think what's exciting is that this podcast will be released out, and at some point when Ari grows up, he'll have the privilege of hearing this. Imagine having a voice recording of your parents talking about the pregnancy session and how that went for each of you, and now being as an adult, being able to go back to literally hearing the week after, by the way, how fresh everything was. That's the biggest privilege you think
that's
about
mad.
it. There's so much documentation that anyone can do around all of this part, which is keen to see this vlog moment of yours. So maybe offline we'll have a few of that.
I'll it's gonna be a private
Have
one.
you edited stuff? Because I know you said at one point the angles shifted.
Well,
and
I
you could
showed
see more than
Sanjo-
what
I
you didn't
showed-
want to see.
Yeah, I showed Sanjo and Mum last night the video,
The raw video.
the raw video
Oh god.
In the room?
in the room. Yeah.
Oh,
like
dear.
it's coming out. Yeah, and the thing was, I had set it up so the angle was only from the waist
okay.
up.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But the thing is, I didn't know, but like the half of the bed comes off.
Oh.
So there's the bed, and then I thought at the end of the bed is when they're going to deliver, right? But then when it comes time to push, you're not pushing from your feet, you're pushing from here. So they take off the end of the bed, it like clicks off. And so now you're like basically where the waist was. And so now everything got captured.
Oh.
So that backfired.
man.
Okay.
So yeah, I showed her and she was like very emotional and obviously
course.
going through that for the first time.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
can
it's
imagine.
huge. So I've just got to like zoom in and then I'll have the perfect angle. Thankfully, I captured it in 2.7K for that reason because I'm going to deliver it on 1080p. So it's good quality.
I like how you're 10 steps ahead in this with the capturing content.
I try, bro. I try.
Okay.
So anyways, that's been my week. It's been amazing and I'm keen to just keep sharing the journey.
I feel like every episode we'll have a mini Ari segment where we're like, hey, so what happened in the week of?
Yeah.
Like, what did we miss?
Yeah,
What's
Ari
something
gets a
new?
segment on his own.
Yeah, he gets a segment before even being featured in the pod. Lucky shit.
A couple of people are asking like, when's he starting work?
Yeah,
I
sounds
was
about
like, he's
right.
got to go through probation first.
Junior internship program.
Yeah.
hectics.
Got to work your way up, bruh.
I love it. I felt like that was probably the majority of this episode, which is cool.
Yes.
So we will keep it here for now.
Yes.
Just touching back on the game, did we happen to do human bingo?
I still don't understand how it works.
I got a word for him.
Okay. I
Okay.
don't know if you fully
Why
understand.
don't you go first?
Well,
'Cause,
okay,
like,
so
maybe that'll
okay,
give us
yeah,
an idea.
yeah, okay. So then I don't think this game would ever make it. Yeah, but if it does, it does. So you did the one thing that I thought you were going to do: bring up a Dragon Ball Z reference, which is what you did.
Oh, like
And-
in general,
yeah,
what you would
yeah,
say.
And I was expecting a particular laugh from you, which you didn't do. So
I see,
Yeah, so no
okay.
human bingo apart from just you.
All I had for him was that he was going to say at some point, it's ons.
I did say it was
You
on.
did say it was ons.
Yeah.
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 And anything for me?
No, I didn't get that far.
No, I thought you were going to say wake up in the morning. And
Oh,
you did do
okay.
that.
Yeah, I
yeah,
did that.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. I guess this game doesn't make too much sense.
Well,
to
we
other
could try
people.
it again next week.
No, you know, I'm vetoing this game. I don't like it.
We'll just
I
get
don't
on
like
to
it.
the next game
On
next
to
week.
the next game.
But that's fine. We'll wrap that up there.